وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون صدق الله العظيم. My dear brothers and sisters, Molana have explained previously how important it is for us to save our iman today's day and age. It is very, very important for us. Molana have explained briefly the plans of Shias and the plans of Qadianis. This is the purpose we are here, just to educate ourselves what's right and what's wrong in terms of the cause. I'm just going to go a bit off topic to begin with, so I can explain better how we can build our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You might have question arise, why this happening to me? Why the magic even happened to a Muslim? Muslim is, he should have a kind of protection by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so why should this happen? And let's see what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran, you will surely be tested. So when anything happened to a Muslim, that means Muslim is going through a test. It can never be the case where Muslim, a person who's got iman, a person who's got firm belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is going through a punishment. Allah says, مَا يَفْعَلُ اللَّهُ بِعَذَابِكُمْ إِن شَكَرْتُمْ وَآمَنْتُمْ. What am I going to get? In another word, what will I get? What am I going to do by punishing? So, the test, coming to the test, the most tested people in this world, this is the hadith. The most tested people in this world is the Anbiya, the prophets. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests the prophets most. And after that, those who are close to prophets. And after that, those who are close to the closest people of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What kind of test? I would just like to give few examples. Let's look at the life of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. So many major tests happened to Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. Whereas Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Hazrat Ibrahim, leave your son and your wife, where there is not even a single leaf or single tree, no water, nothing. It's like a full mountain place, whereas Makkah we see right now. One of the tests was, he's been thrown in the fire. One of the tests, in fact, one place where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran, وَإِذِ ابْتَلَىٰ إِبْرَاهِيمَ رَبُّهُ بِكَلِمَاتٍ فَأَتَمَّهُنَّ. Allah, that the story is a very interesting story, whereas Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one person, one shepherd, Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, he was a shepherd at the time, and he was out with his goats and animals. All Anbiyas were shepherds. So as he was he was in the field, one person came to him. And he was reading the beautiful kalimat in the praise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam heard them kalimat. He said, wow, mashallah, very beautiful kalimat. Can you read it again? So the brother said, what will you give me in return? So Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam said, I can give you one goat. Take one goat. But read it again. That was the love of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam towards Allah. The love that he could listen to them kalimat of praise again and again. When somebody praise your beloved, you feel better. You feel better in your heart. So he was praising, and he said, take my goat, take one of the goats. Do it again. He did it again. He prayed the kalimat again, the third time, said, take another goat, but do it again. He prayed the kalimat the fourth time. This has been continued, and Hazrat Ibrahim ﷺ was left with no goats, no animals. So that person said, what will you give me now? If I pray again, what will you give me now? So the answer of Hazrat Ibrahim ﷺ, I'm just trying to create that love. I'm just trying here to explain, how we should create that love to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that these things, even we go through tests, we enjoy. Why we enjoy? Because we know that Allah is testing us. This is just a test. Whereas, I'm going to explain it later on how people go through when they go through, this possession of magic, possession of evil eye, how they go through. So you will understand. This question, a non-believer can come to you and say, oh, you're Muslim, how come your God is not helping now? They could raise the question. Atheists, they could raise the question. You should have the answer ready for them. Oh, this is just a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maybe this test came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to me, to make me more closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when Ibrahim has been asked, what are you going to give it now? You haven't got nothing now to give me. He said, please pray one more time. Please pray one more time. That person said, you haven't got anything, what are you going to give me? So Ibrahim said, don't you need a shepherd with your animal? I am giving you myself. Please read that kalimat again. That is, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then that person said, I'm an angel. I just came to test you, but you know what? You passed your test. So that was just, all this was going on, this was just a test. Let's go back to the life of Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam. When you look at the life of Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam, he has been appointed prophet. Since then, he's been doing tabligh for 950 years. And the historian and the history says, when he would go out to do tabligh, people used to throw stone at him in such a quantity that he would be, it's like buried under the stone. He would be buried under the stone. That's how much he used to have. He had struggled. All the prophets go through struggle. And then after that, the Sahaba. So when any struggle you go through, any test you go through in your life, you should know that this is just a test. This is just a test, not a punishment. Right? Now let's look at the, life of our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The life of our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was very humble and very simple, with poverty. He stayed his life with poverty. And he's been, Hazrat Aisha narrates this hadith, he says, Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam asked Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which prophethood would you like? The prophethood of king or the prophethood of poverty? Which prophethood? Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam has been given kingdom, the prophethood with kingdom. So which one do you like? So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for a little bit, he was confused. Which one should I ask for? And then the hadith says that Jibreel alayhi salatu wasallam did ishara. He said, humble, stay, down, the poverty one. Why? Because Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has been told the waqiyat before the qiyamah in the ummah, before the qiyamah, what's going to happen. He's been opened some waqiyat, some stories. So he knew my ummah will struggle. If I stay in the state of kingdom, and later on my ummah will be with poverty, struggle, and all sorts of hardship, it's not going to be fair. That look, Prophet had a very good life, and look where we are right now. So Prophet ﷺ said, I rather keep the life of poverty, and I rather stay. And the incident which happened with Prophet ﷺ in regards to the black magic, in regards to the magic, I'm just explaining to you this because the question arises again here, that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loved our Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, why would He give this taklif to our Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? The taklif was that he started to forget things, worldly things, not the things about hereafter, not the things which is not connected to religion, just worldly things, It's like 10 minutes ago who saw him, who would forget. 15 minutes ago who he met, he forget. And stuff like that. And he was very, very like this. He was kind of upset about the situation, that why is this going through? Why is this happening to you? So as he was going through this depression and there's like an upset moment, he fell asleep. And in his dream, he saw two angels. Now the dream of prophet is, anybody know about this? The dream of the prophet is wahi. It can never be wrong. It can never be false dream. We see all sorts of dream. It's not like that. When a prophet sees something in dream, that becomes wahi as well. So Prophet ﷺ saw two angels. And he was sleeping. Now he's seeing the dream. In his dream, he's sleeping, and he could see, when he's lying down, he could see one angel stood up near his feet, and one angel stood up near his head mubarak. One angel is asking another angel, he said, what happened to him? So the another angel replied, he's got magic done on him. Okay, so the angel asking again, who did it? Labib Shair, the poet, Jew, he did it. Okay, where is it? Said there was one particular well, so it's in that well, and it's been tightened up in the rope, in the hair, in the form of hair and knots on the hair. And they explain everything. So what's the solution? Solution is Prophet ﷺ, he should go there and take it out, and Allah will show him the way how to remove the magic and how to remove the knots. So when he woke up, Prophet ﷺ, Prophet ﷺ went with Sahaba to that well, a particular well. Just can't think of that well right now, the name of that well. So Prophet ﷺ went there and took the stuff out from the well. It was some hair, some bones and stuff like that, a few things there. So Jibreel ﷺ came, and he came with the revolution of that ayat, Surah Nas and Surah Falaq. There's 11 ayat there. Some scholars says here that Hazrat Jibreel ﷺ said to Prophet ﷺ, read each ayat and each knot will open up. From that hair, each knot, as the magic will break. And some scholars says no. Hazrat Jibreel ﷺ said, read Mu'awwazatayn, Qul a'udhu bi rabbin nas and Qul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq twice. As in, read both once and one knot will open. Read it like this all 11 times and the knots will open. So he did that, and alhamdulillah he got cured like this. But the answer to the question which arises earlier on, that why did this happen to our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Very simple. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to show us, if this happened to any of you, don't be surprised. Why? Because it happened to my beloved sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is the reason. Now, sometimes, it happens, the minor things happen in our life due to a little wake-up call from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We can't say punishment. It's like a kind of wake-up call. I'll tell you how. Hazrat Hassan al-Basri radiallahu ta'ala, he was sitting and he was teaching his students. One person came and said, Hazrat, I've got a big problem. What's the problem? The problem is I'm financially broke and my risk is stuck. What shall I do? So Hazrat Hassan al-Basri, rahmatullah, he said, read Astaghfar as much as possible. And he went back. Another person came. Said, I'm having a bit of a difficulty with my health. What shall I do? Hazrat said, read Astaghfar as much as possible. One person came and said, I'm struggling with my relationship, husband and wife relationship, what should I do? Hazrat said, read Astaghfar as much as possible. When 3 people went, the student asked Hazrat, with due respect, can you tell us all these 3 people you prescribed them Astaghfirullah, Astaghfirullah alladhi min kulli dhanbin wa atubu ilayh? What's the reason behind this? Hazrat said the reason is, majority of the time risk has been stopped by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala due to our sin. So when we commit sin, these kind of, we call it little punishment, like little wake-up call. The punishment is big thing. So this is what Hassan al-Basri radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, Astaghfirullah alladhi la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum wa atubu ilayh. If you keep this, if you keep the ma'mul of this morning and evening, these minor problems won't happen in your life. Because this majority of the time is due to our sin. Now, the patient, sabr is the key of moving forward in our life. I'm just going to be quickly finishing a few points and then be coming back to our topic again. Sabr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ista'inu bis-sabri was-salah. O believer, ask for my help. Allah said, gain help from me through sabr and salah. Through sabr and salah. I'm not telling you and myself to become a wali of Allah. It's basic. It's 5 times namaz. Little bit of our, sorting our character, akhlaq. Be kind to everybody around. And make sure keep our heart clean. Don't think of guna, thoughts of guna, stuff like that. So Allah says sabr is the main key. And stay away from shaitan, the trap of shaitan. That's the main, biggest thing. Stay away from the trap of shaitan. As Allah says in Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu dukhulu fis-silmi kafa. O believer, enter Islam fully. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ إِنَّهُ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌّ مُبِينٌ. Don't come under the influence of shaitan. Why? He is your open enemy. Why I'm saying this shaitan is, as we are going, where we'll move forward, you will understand why I am talking about shaitan here so much. Because when a person is possessed, he gets all sorts of thoughts. All sorts of thoughts in his mind. Some parents, they ring me and they say, up to yesterday, my son was perfectly fine. And all of a sudden, he changed, shaved his beard and he wants to go to nightclub. All of a sudden. And we check, we find out he's possessed and stuff, and then we go and try and help him. That was a few points I wanted to make. Now we're moving forward to our topic. Right. So we'll start our course with evil eye. Then we'll move on to jinn possession and then break and all this, as you can see. What is evil? So the main common problem, these are the top topic we're going to be covering. So what is evil eye? We'll start with evil eye. What is evil eye? The majority of the problem we are facing in our life is due to evil eye. The problem is, when I'm going to open up the symptoms in a bit, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Evil eye, jealousy, envy. It means, when you look at somebody, or when somebody look at you with shaitanic thoughts, with the thoughts of jealousy. If you see somebody's got a new car, you say, instead of saying mashallah, we say, wow, he's got a new car. I wish he didn't have it. I had that car. That makes sense? So you look at the person with jealousy, that is evil. And anything to do with jealousy, eyesight, that is evil. And what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? We find one incident of Hazrat Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam. I'm sure you must have known the story of Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. Anybody that don't know the story of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam? It's a very big story. I'll end up finishing all my time with the story of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. I'm just going to mention the main point there. I'm just going to mention the main point there. Look, whereas this ayat here it says, قَالَ يَا بُنَيَّ لَا تَدْخُلُوا مِنْ بَابٍ وَاحِدٍ وَادْخُلُوا مِنْ أَبْوَابٍ مُتَفَرِّقَةٍ. Hazrat Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam, he said to his sons, 11 sons, make sure when you enter Egypt, you enter from all different doors. Don't enter all at once. And the majority of Mufassirun says the reason here why Hazrat Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam said this to his sons because of the evil eye. Because of the evil eye. I'll tell you, the incident of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, the story of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. When he was little, he saw a dream. He saw a dream when he was young, he saw a dream. In the dream, he saw stars, 11 stars, sun, moon. They were all doing sajda to him. He woke up and he said this dream to his father, Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam. Hazrat Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam, he was prophet. His prophet, he understood straight away that this is not an ordinary dream. This is not a normal dream. This dream means that he is going to be a prophet. So what did he say to his son? قَالَ يَا بُنَيَّ لَا تَقْصُصْ رُؤْيَاكَ عَلَىٰ إِخْوَتِكَ فَيَكِيدُ لَكَ كَيْدًا. Oh my little son, make sure you don't share your dream with everybody, i.e. your brothers. Don't tell your brothers. Why? Now he did not blame, Hazrat Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam did not blame them in a bad way. He did not criticize his other sons in a bad way. What he said? إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌ مُبِينٌ. That shaitan will make sure, when you tell them, shaitan will make sure that they get jealous. They get jealous of you. Shaitan will make sure that they get jealous of you. That's what happened. But Mufassirun, Mufti Shafi Usmani, he wrote a very good point here. If you have to aware somebody about somebody, you're not doing ghibah here. You're not backbiting here. This is the point. When you have to aware somebody, say, make sure you stay away from that brother, because this is what happened to me. This is not ghibah from here. Hazrat Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam is pointing out. Now, let's see what Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam says about evil eye. Let's look at the hadith. أكثر من يموت بعد قضاء الله وقدره العين. Majority of my ummah will die with the evil eye. You must be thinking, I've always heard that black magic is the most worst ever thing, or jinn possession is the most dangerous thing. How come evil eye? But me as been into this subject for a long time, I've noticed evil eye is the worst problem. It's the bigger danger than magic and jinn. Magic and jinn can be cured easily with the kalam of Allah. Even evil eye can be. I'm going to come to the curing part. I'm going to come to the prevention and all that. But evil eye, sometimes when it happens to a person, the person don't even realize that it's happening to me. The person, when it happens to him, you don't even realize that. Sometimes you might have noticed your car is going, breaking down again and again. Your car's breaking down. And who would think that when the car breaks down, that's the cause of evil eye? But let me tell you something, the majority of the accidents that happen, that is due to evil eye. You bring a new car, mashallah, 2017 plate. Nobody says mashallah these days. Nobody says alhamdulillah. Nobody says Allahumma zid fazid. In Bukhari Sharif, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when you look at your brother, you give this dua. When you look at something good about your brother, when you see something good about your brother, you give this dua. MashaAllahu la quwwata illa billah. MashaAllahu la quwwata. When you say this, straight away, shaitan will remove himself from that eyesight. So when you're looking at the person, when you're looking at somebody, when you're looking at somebody's property, when you're looking at somebody's son, when you're looking at somebody's child, you straight away, when you say mashallah, shaitan is away from that. But when you don't say mashallah, that's when the shaitan's interference comes in. And that is become the cause of the problem. When a person gets ill straight away, person become ill straight away. And this is the cause. No, what I want you to do is, I want you to write it down, the questions. Because I don't know, I might be missing out something here. And you might have some questions. We'll cover that inshallah. I want you to write, even sisters upstairs, they can write it down, the questions, and we'll elaborate at the end. So that the sayings of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this means that whoever, the major cause, like I mentioned to you, major cause of the death is evil eye. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in one place he said, evil eye is so dangerous that it can make a person go to grave. It can, send a human to a grave and a camel to a cooking pot. Cooking pot. That's how strong it is. So that this hadith is a kind of indication that it's not just happened to human being. The evil eye just not happen to human being. It can happen to anyone. It can happen to your cars. It can happen to your house. It can happen to everything that is good in your life. Then one place, Prophet ﷺ said, hide your blessing from others, especially who you don't trust. Our problem these days is what we tell everything. I've earned this month, I've earned £10,000 in my business. This month I've done this. This year is going to be very smooth year for me. I hear these things. That's why. So when we share everything and anything to every person that we come across, this is what happens. And a person becomes broke. The majority of the time, a person becomes such a kind of broke that it's very, very hard to help that brother. Becomes very hard to help that brother. So how we should take the, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Ista'idhu billahi min al-ayn, fa inna al-ayn haqqun. Ask Allah's protection from evil eye. Ask Allah to protect you from evil eye. And how you're going to do this? We're going to come to it, inshallah. These are just a big hadiths in the explanation, which I'm just telling you already. It's already telling you in a very brief way. Okay. There's one incident here which happened at the time of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which will make you explain make you understand in a better way. The incident happened like this. Sahal ibn Hunayf, he was just about to have shower. And Amir ibn Rabi'a, one of his friends, was passing through there. And he saw him topless. He saw Sahal ibn Hunayf topless. He said, Mashallah. He didn't say Mashallah, he said, you've got a beautiful body. He did not say Mashallah yet. He said, you've got a beautiful body. Straight away, at that time, Sahal ibn Hunayf got ill. Temperature, palpitation, shaky feeling, straight away. So everybody, the people, the family members and everybody, they all got scared and they thought, what happened? They took him to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ya Rasulullah, this is just, all of a sudden it started happening. And Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has been given the eye of, the nubuwwat. So he straight away said, did somebody comment on you? Did somebody say something about you? So people said, you don't know. Prophet ﷺ asked Sahal bin Hunayf. He said, yes. As I was just about to go into bath, Amir ibn Rabi'a came and he said this. That you're mashallah, he didn't say mashallah, but he said, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. In fact, said something further as well. You're beautiful than a virgin girl. But in a joking way. But regardless, we've got our aqidah and we've got our belief that all Sahaba are adul. Kullu Sahabati adul. All Sahaba, do not raise our voice against Sahaba. I'm just mentioning this incident here. I'm just mentioning this incident here so that you understand what I'm talking about. So, As-sahabatu kulluhum adul. The Prophet ﷺ said, call Amir bin Rabi'a. I want to speak to you. So, Hazrat Amir bin Rabi'a radiallahu ta'ala, he's been brought forward. And Hazrat Amir bin Rabi'a said, Ya Rasulullah, with due respect, I said this. But do you want to kill your brother? This was the words of Prophet ﷺ. Do you want to kill your brother? Ya Rasulullah, I never intended to kill my brother. But why did you say this and why didn't you say MashaAllah la quwwata illa billah? Why did you not give your brother a dua? So now what? What's the cure for this? The cure for this is Prophet ﷺ straight away commanded Hazrat Amir bin Rabi'a to perform wuzu and gather the water in a bucket. So Amir bin Rabi'a, they performed the wuzu, gathered some water in the bucket, and that water, Prophet ﷺ poured that water on Hazrat Sahal bin Hunayf. And that's how the nazar got away, and Hazrat Sahal bin Hunayf got killed. But this is the incident which happened. Now, this is where the people knew who gave him nazar. The Prophet ﷺ, people knew who gave him nazar. What if somebody don't know who gave him nazar? What's the cure to that? We'll come to it inshallah. Let's look at I just mentioned that Sahabatu kulluhum adul. I've mentioned, do not kill your Muslim brother with your eye. So don't kill your Muslim brother purposely by giving him evil eye. Let's look at the symptoms. Yeah, this is the hadith. Look, I was mentioning the hadith and I was mentioning you. Prophet ﷺ, hide your blessing. Don't tell anybody until the job is done. When you're making a factory, when you're setting up a business, don't start telling everybody yet. I'm setting up a business, and my expected turnover to be £10,000. I'm buying a house. Or the early pregnancy, everybody starts saying, my wife is expecting. It's very wrong to say this early age. Calm down. Control your excitement. Control your emotion. Why? You never know. Somebody might not be in your favor. Somebody might not be happy with you. Somebody might be struggling with having a baby, and you're telling him that your wife is expecting. You understand my point? Ruqya. Now, this is many people ask, is it okay for an amil to charge? Is it okay for a healer to charge? There's nothing against charging. When a person says decent money, they charge decent money. There's nothing against charging. And my view is they can, if it's like an affordable wage, they can. But look what Prophet ﷺ said. My view on this, and I like to put myself on here. Alhamdulillah. I just have knows we have fi sabilillah service going on. So when Prophet ﷺ said 70,000 people will enter Jannah without hisab and kitab, without question. 70,000 people. This is the first 70,000 people. And then the hadith is very long, I'm just mentioning it very briefly. There's 70,000 people will go in Jannah without question and answer. The Sahaba ask, who are they? Who are they? So one of the people would be this. The people who will perform Umrah with no wrong intention. Now, what is wrong intention? Wrong earning dunya. Making this as a business. Making this as your business. That okay, let the customer come. And then the Molana said earlier on, when you go to places like Pakistan and India and all that, they're all Babajis there. Babaji, they're like a clean shave kind of Babaji. They come here, they quickly, grow their little bit beard and wear the pagri and they're here with the speed in them. When they go back, they are all smoking and all sorts. So when Molana said them kind of Babaji, the intention of the healer has to be there, of not gaining this dunya. I'm not against those people who charge. They are taking their time out, and we should compensate them a little bit, but not like £5,000, 10,000, 1,000, 2,000, not like that. Come on. People is coming. Sometimes I get people who come, they say, Molana sir, can I come half an hour late? I say, why? I've got to go to job center to sign in. Are you understanding my point? I've got to go to job center to do my signing in. I know that must be £65 a week. If I'm going to charge him £500, that brother's going to, even though he's in majburi, he's in taklif, he's in problem, he might end up borrowing that money from somebody else and give me. But then what? He's going to curse me from inside. He's going to say, this brother took advantage of my problem. So the Prophet ﷺ said, 70,000 people who will enter in Jannah without question answered, without any question. One of them would be the people who would perform ruqyah without any wrong intention. And I just mentioned what wrong intention is. So the people who would perform ruqyah without any wrong intention. And then one Sahabi asked Prophet ﷺ, Ya Rasulullah, make dua for me, that I want to be from them people. The Prophet ﷺ said, yes, you are from them people. The glad tidings. Right. These are the symptoms. I want you to make note of this. Why I want you to make note of this is, and also one more thing, before I elaborate all these points, I want you to understand one thing. These are based on non-medical condition. These are based on non-medical condition. Yeah, sometimes medical condition can be due to evil eye, but these symptoms are based on non-medical condition. And you know what? The majority of people who are sitting here, the majority of people out there, they have somewhere, somehow, some of the symptoms they would have. They would have some sort of symptoms in them. But yes, it can be nazar. And it is nazar according to symptoms. But we have way of taking this nazar out. We have way. Prophet ﷺ taught us, and you know what? We are the beautiful ummah. Alhamdulillah, we are blessed that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us mu'jiza, miracle, and that is Quran. So look at the symptoms. Yeah? Weakness in the body. This weakness, like I said earlier on, is due to non-medical condition. All of a sudden, a person is in a working condition, a person is in a very smooth, healthy condition, and all of a sudden that person starts feeling weak. That is one of the symptoms. There's loss of appetite, temperature, fever. Temperature is, temperature, it happens normally. But majority of the temperature that happen, where all of a sudden you start feeling that you're going to have temperature. I'm sure you must have felt that. From morning till afternoon and evening you are okay, and then all of a sudden evening time you start to have temperature. And you are surprised within yourself, how come I'm feeling like this? That could be due to nazar. There's a possibility of nazar. All the symptoms are there. I'm going to go through briefly each one by one. But the prevention and the removal of evil eye is the same. So if any of these symptoms that you're facing, very easy method. And the good thing is it takes only 15-20 minutes. But you have to do it on a regular basis. Right? The gas and bloating in the stomach, that's very common. This is very common symptom. I'm sure so many people here, they have this problem, bloating stomach. Bloating. There are several other reasons as well for bloating stomach. One of the reasons is late eating and late sleeping, not having enough sleep. Late eating, that is one of the reasons of bloating. But the evil eye is one of the reasons of bloating, bloated stomach. And crying or feeling depressed. We are living in a country where 70-75% of the people are depressed. Correct me if I'm wrong. The majority of depression, and you know what kind of depression? When I say depression, over little things we get upset. When we get sad feeling. Over little things. So that depression, or feel like crying, emotional, over everything and anything, that is main symptom of nazar. You should, perform ruqya on yourself. I'm going to come to the treatment part. Let's finish quickly. This one. Restlessness in the heart, mainly after asr till midnight. I come across these kind of cases as well. They're okay up to afternoon, and then after that they start to feel down. That is due to two reasons. One is evil eye. Another reason is sugar level drops. You've got to, why I'm bringing the medical points as well at the same time is we shall look at that side as well. Why? Taking medicine is the sunnah of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Going to doctor, seeing a doctor is sunnah of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I don't want you to think of this side. Yes, this plays a big major part in our life, but also at the same time see doctor as well. Yawning with tears. You guys have this? Anybody? Yawning with tears. That is one of the reasons. Yawning with tears. Laziness. And when I say laziness towards salah as well. Laziness towards salah as well. Laziness towards zikr as well. Laziness towards everything. You don't feel like doing anything. You don't feel like doing anything. You just want to sit down at home. Especially when you come home and you enter home, you feel more down. Outside with friends, everybody, you're okay. When you come home, you feel more down. Why? Because you got nazar as well, your house has got nazar as well. Dizziness, feeling sick, palpitation. But feeling sick, that happens a lot as well. People start to feel sick for no reason. And sometimes it happens, due to whatever you eat, you start feeling sick. So your digestive system is not working in a very good condition. Headaches, migraine. Now even migraine happens due to two reasons. One is evil eye, another one is lack of sleep. Especially when a person is working night shift. I'm not against night shift. But having a night sleep is better than day sleep. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran, وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ لِبَاسًا وَجَعَلْنَا النَّهَارَ مَعَاشًا. I created nights for you as a blanket. What does that mean? Sleep. I created day for you to work, ma'asha, earn. What we do is, we go against the ruling of Allah, whereas at night we work and during the day we sleep. But you ask the expert, medical expert, they will tell you as well, night sleep is 100 times better than the day sleep. It gives you full charging. I always say to people, when we sleep at night time, we are charging our battery. We're charging our battery. The night sleep, not day sleep. Aches and pains in the body. Laziness towards salah, I just mentioned earlier on. Laziness towards zikr. Not wanting to socialize with family and friends. That's one of the symptoms. I want you to write the question down. Even if you don't want to share your question in public, you can tell me later on. Okay, I'll be here inshallah. Not wanting to socialize with friends and families, loss of hair, especially for sisters. Loss of hair, one is just loss of hair in a very low quantity. That's fine, no problem. But when they start losing hair in a big amount, something to worry about here. It needs to be checked. Then financial issue. Just mentioned earlier on, financial issue. Your deal was just about to happen and it gets stuck. You had so much qualification, you had so many degrees, you were expected to be called for interview, but you didn't get called. Why? This. You've been sharing out. You've been telling people, but there's a manager post ready for me. I'm just going to go straight there. Don't share until it gets done. Until you're safe and secure in your post. Then you can tell those who are your well-wishers, who are close to you, who you think could give you dua, who you think could not be jealous of you. Vice versa. Don't start blaming everybody for no reason. Say, he could be jealous. Why, even though he's my father, but he could be jealous. Even though he's my brother, he could be jealous. Not like this. I'm just telling you in the friends. Not able to manage time and all bad timekeeping. It's one of the symptoms here. You must be thinking, if all these symptoms belong to evil eye, what's going to happen to magic symptom and what's going to happen to jinn symptom? Don't worry. Like I've been mentioning from the beginning, it could be for two reasons. Medical reason or evil eye reason. Possession. So don't just take everything that's happening to you, that's due to evil. Stay positive here. Not enjoying your work. One brother came to me and said, I'm struggling with job. I said, okay, read this, do this. He did this, mashallah, he found a job in Asda. After a month he came back again. I said, brother, I'm not enjoying my job. I want to find another job. Help me. I said, okay, do your reading, do this. He did that, he found a job in Tesco. Now he worked for a month again and he said, I'm struggling again. I can't find it. I said, brother, I can't help you now. I've done enough. So not enjoying your work. Now, these were the symptoms. Let's look at the treatment. What's the treatment for this? Right. So, I want you to write this down. This is a very beneficial thing. And you know what? You will see the result for this. This treatment, as you are going through, inshallah, you will see the result for this. You either take a picture of that, or listen to it very carefully and record it in your phone. Take half a bucket. Fill half a bucket of water, warm water from bathroom. Bring it outside the bathroom, because we're going to be reading Quranic verses here which cannot be read in bathroom. Never ever read Quran in bathroom. Asking for big trouble then. I'm going to come on that when we come across the jinn issues. Who lives in bathroom? So, fill half of the warm water bucket and put your hand up to your wrist. I'll bring it outside and then put your hand up to your wrist in the bucket. Put your hand. While you put your hand inside, read these 4 things. 7 times. What are they? Start with Durushan. But you're going to have to read yourself, remember this. Nobody else is going to read for you. Unless you don't know how to pray. Unfortunately, I do come across many brothers and sisters that come and say, we've not learned Quran. So why? Our parents never taught us. It's easy to blame parents. So these are for those who can read. And those who can't read, help them. If they're your family member, help them. If your friends, help them. Help them doing what? Let them put their hand up to their wrist into the bucket and you read for them. But after reading this, you're not going to be blowing anywhere. You're not going to be blowing anywhere. All you do is just read. Once you finish reading this, take your hand out of your bucket, take that bucket back into bathroom, prepare for shower, get ready for shower, pour that water on yourself first, and then have normal shower. Now why I'm saying don't blow anywhere, don't blow in the bucket, because if you blow in that bucket, that is Quranic water now. You can't throw out the drain. You can't throw that water through the drain, bathroom drain. Because you've read Quran and you've blown on it. But don't blow anywhere. It is sufficient to put your hand up to the wrist in the bucket and that's it. And read. After doing this, you can have your normal shower. How long did it take? Roughly, 10, 15 minutes. No more than that. So when you're having bath for 15, 20 minutes, before that you do this amal, so you add another 10, 15 minutes, that takes half an hour of your time. But due to the bad weather, sometimes we don't have, shower every day. We have some brothers, they have shower one day often. It's fine. Whenever you intend to have shower, do this. But do it for 21 days. So if you come across them symptoms, which I've just mentioned earlier on, and if them symptoms are in a very high, you find majority of them symptoms within yourself, do it for 21 days. That is the treatment for it. And not only that, after that the prevention is, do this twice a week. Just for the safe side, do it twice a week. So that making sure anything that comes up afterwards gets cured.
Do they have to be wudu before we do that?
No, they don't. No, they don't. But if they are in an impurity state, if ghusl, if they require the first ghusl, then they should do the first ghusl first and then do this amal. So do your ghusl first.
So every day for 21 days?
If you do every day, that's better. Because you're doing it fast track. But if you can't do every day, one day often, no problem. If you do one day often, that takes 42 days, 41 days. And if you do it every day, that's going to take 21 days. But you should do this, you should consider this treatment very much. Because majority of your problem will go away with this. In fact, some of the magic possession cases I come across, and I recommended them this treatment. 90% of their magic have come with this. Why? It's Quran. We are using Quran here. And those verses we are using, which has been revealed to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with the purpose of removing his magic. So, when we read Surah Nas, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is encouraging Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to ask for his protection from who? وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَاثَةِ وَمِن شَرِّ حَاسِدٍ إِذَا حَسَدَ قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ مَلِكِ النَّاسِ إِلَهِ النَّاسِ مِن شَرِّ الْوَسْوَاسِ الْخَنَّاسِ. Waswas is, thoughts, evil thoughts. And khannas, because his problem was due to the forgetting. So it has so much to do with the thoughts. That's why waswasil khannas. Khannas, some scholars says it's a type of jinn, type of shaitan. But we believe that this verse is not only related to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it's for the entire ummah. So if you come across anything where you get waswas, the evil thoughts, I'm going to come to that when we mention the jinn possession and all that. Do this. And then وَمِن شَرِّ حَاسِدٍ إِذَا حَسَدٍ. Allah save me from the hasad of hasidin. Allah protect me. MashaAllah, it's a beautiful, beautiful verse, but we underestimate. Why we underestimate? We think, what that's going to do? Some people, we've been given a lot of time by lots of amil, 4 qools, and we've been reading 4 qools, nothing's happening. I'm going to come to that, why nothing is happening. Everybody?
Does the quantity of water matter?
No, it doesn't. As long as you can.
As long as you can lift the bucket, it doesn't matter.
Does the water that you wet the root of,
Yeah.
does it have to wet every single part of the body or just close to the head?
Put on your head. It doesn't matter, no. It doesn't have to be every single part of your body must be wet with that water. You can just put on yourself, and inshallah.
Just 2 questions. First of all, for children who can't obviously recite before 5 years old and they're suffering from evil eye, can the parents pray this, recite it for them whilst they're under in the bucket? Or?
I've always seen this, for kids, the parents use the tub, something like a bathtub or something. Am I right? Bathtub. Put them on the bathtub with the water in it. Then you read on it. Let them play while you're reading, it doesn't matter. And then or there are other ways as well of removing this nazar. One of the ways is when they go to sleep, you don't have to write it down because that's not on the slide. So if you want to write it down, or if you want to take a recording of it or something, when they go to sleep, read Surah Al-Asr. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Surah Asr 21 times, along with Ayatul Kursi 21 times. Let them go to sleep. All you're going to be doing is reading on them and blowing on them. You don't need to blow each time, you can blow all up at the end. And when you will see the difference straight away. After doing this, next day you'll see. And the symptom for kids are a little extra added, that the kids don't eat food. They stop eating. That's the biggest symptom. Kids, all of a sudden they stop eating food, cry for no reason, become ziddi, stubborn, don't listen. These are the symptoms. Or all of a sudden become ill. So for them, you do this. Like I said, after around about 5 years old, 3-4 years old, you can do this time. It's just for them very, few months old kids. It's hard for them. Then you can read that amal.
Last question is, for nazar in the house, is it if we do recite this and then spray the water around the house?
That is right. Yeah, it's a good point. Jazakallah for reminding me that. I'm going to come to that. If nazar happens to your car and nazar happens to your house, how are you going to remove it? Obviously, you're not going to give them bath. So the way you're going to do it is same verses here. Read in the bottle of water and spray that water or sprinkle that water throughout the walls of the house, inside, on the door, main entrance of the house and on the walls of the house. Just like a very little amount sprinkle or spray using the spray water bottle. Same thing with the car.
Is that just for 1 day or 21 days?
That you can do it for 21 days, yeah. You don't have to, when it comes to spraying, you don't have to recite every day because you'll have some water left. So you can use that water for a few days.
We talk about house and the car.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same method then? You talk because
Yeah, the reading is sent here.
no, but you in the water.
Mm-hmm.
If your hands in it, you just read it on the water just as it is.
No, just as it is. Read on the water.
Not on the water as well.
No.
As you were saying for the children, 21 times for us or 21 times Ayatul Kursi. Is that if you've got more than one child, is it sufficient to do it once and then blow over to what
You can do it all at once. All at once, yeah. You don't need to do individual. As long as they should be sleeping together or something. If they're sleeping in a different room, then it's better to do it separately.
Just to elaborate on the brother's question, he said, is it the same method? I think Molana Sahib said you blow into a bottle.
Yeah, no. In terms of having bath, you're not going to be blowing anywhere. But when you do the spray, you have to blow for the water to become pure. Okay. So what was the question did you say again?
I'm trying to understand the
When we do the amal for car or the house, do we have to blow and spray? Or do we just, like when we do the normal bath, we don't need to blow? Similarly, do we blow or not? Right? Yeah. When we do for the car or when we do for the house or anything, any valuable stuff that we do on, we should blow. Blow on the water. This is why, when I mentioned sprinkle the water in the house, I did not mention the floor. Have you noticed that? I didn't mention the floor. I just mentioned the walls of the house. That is the reason. So inshallah, any other question? That's it. Shall we move on to another one?
Just one question. In terms of these treatments,
Mm-hmm.
are they based on pious predecessors passing information down the line?
Yes, they are.
Ways and
They are.
evidence have proved
Yes.
effective?
I'm gonna, if I answer this one now, when you said, are these treatment based on our pious predecessors or not? I'm gonna elaborate a little bit before we move on forward, because there will be more treatments coming where you will have this question in your mind. So let me answer this now. These treatments are based on the a'mal of our pious predecessors. And I'll give you the proof of that. When when I mentioned to you earlier on about the charging bit, the healer charge money and stuff. I'll tell you an incident where some of the Sahaba, when they went towards one of the tribe, they were going for one of the tribe, and then they asked for hospitality. Sahaba asked them to hospitalize them, because they are stranger here, they are new here, they don't know anything about the area or anything. But they were the enemy of Islam, they were not Muslim at that time, the tribe. The tribe said, why should we hospitalize you? Why should we welcome you? We're not going to welcome you. No problem. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made a scorpion bit the leader of that tribe. So that scorpion bit the person got bitten, the leader got bitten by a scorpion. Now they were all worrying, and the poison was getting through in his body. But one of the tribe person came to the Sahaba and said, do you have anybody who can treat this matter, who know anything, doctor or any raqi or anything? The Sahabi said, yes, we have one. So one Sahabi went there. Now let's talk about something, return, because you didn't accept to give us the hospitality, and you're wanting our help, you want something. I said, okay, we'll give you the goat. But then some Sahaba said, let's ask Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We can't take any money for Quran. They started to read Surah Fatiha here. As they were reading Surah Fatiha, the poison was coming out. As they were reading Surah Fatiha, the poison was coming out. Now the question here is, the way they were reading, the method they were reading Surah Fatiha, was the method being described by Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or they did it themselves, right? There was no shirk inside. Surah Fatiha, there was no shirk inside. If there was no shirk inside, and if that method has not been prescribed by Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they were just doing it out of themselves, because it was Quran. Whereas Allah says, وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ مَا هُوَ شِفَاء. The Quran is full of shifa. However you can use, make sure you use Quran, whether in reading, whether in drinking, whether in the form of amulets. I'm going to come on that as well. Read, do, however you read, you're going to get shifa. So then they went to Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Prophet said, yes, take it. This incident is in Muwatta Imam Malik, by the way. It's an authentic hadith, the authentic incident. He said, yes, take it. And make sure give me a share as well. Those Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's words. make sure give me a portion of the meat as well from the goat. So that was my whole point of mentioning this incident is not to clear that the charging bit, but the clearance of the amal. That there are so many places whereas Sahaba did the ruqya according to their understanding. Prophet ﷺ said, do ruqya and help your brothers and sisters however you can. Help the ummah however you can. As long as that thing is not containing shirk, that's the main thing we need to understand. As long as that particular thing is not containing shirk. I'll tell you one more incident before we move on forward. The incident is, one group of people came to Prophet ﷺ and accepted Islam. And when they accepted Islam, I'm going to mention this hadith with the evidence further on, where I'm going to be mentioning the ta'weezes and which are the permissible ta'weez and which are the amulets which is containing both. Okay, I'm going to mention this with evidence. I'm just going to briefly explain to you. The group of people came to Prophet ﷺ, said, Ya Rasulullah, we have accepted Islam, but we are professional raqi, we do ruqya. Shall we continue doing ruqya or shall we leave our job? Prophet ﷺ said, okay, read to me, what do you do? Now, of course, and obviously they have just accepted recently Islam, so they didn't know Quran. So their ruqya was something else. Arabic couplets, Arabic words, but outside Quran, not from Quran. So Prophet ﷺ said, read to me. They read to Prophet ﷺ. Prophet ﷺ said, there's this word, particular word here and there. These two words, take them out. The rest of the ruqya is okay, do it. What is the indication? What is the lesson? What is that we understand? The point here we understand is, do it. As long as this does not contain shirk. Help your Muslim brother as long as this does not contain shirk. Right? Does that make it clear, the question? Okay.